Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being present today. Hello, Flori, Nikki, Danny, awesome. Erin, who else we have? Thank you so much for being part of it. Um, this is our fifth call, eh? Woo! And I'm very excited to be able to share this subject today because today has been a very easy day to lose the center. We're going to be talking about the 13 forces of the great cosmos that lead our vessel, the 30 layers that move in a spiral to connect us with the Hunapku. And with in the Mesoamerican thought, we would, as some of you know Imi, she would say it, the mountain that sustains us all, the top of the mountain when we feel embraced and supported. And and today it seems like the forces of the underworld has been really, really playing around, trying to penetrate the vessel and to keep and throw and getting all that balance of high and connected into being in the underworld. So it is very beautifully dance of these two forces for me today. So for me, sharing this is quite ludic. It's like a cosmic joke. And but what I can say is that I come here with all my heart and with all my humble presence to be that vessels for these forces, for these 13 guardians of that heart of the universe could flow through me in the way that they flow through my ancestors, and that they can touch you and awake some of those whispers that you are receiving from all these sacred forces that accompany you today and in every step of you, to all the forces that represent all those generations, all those lives from your forebears and your uh, ancestors, all those winds that have to cross in order for you to be here, all those beautiful, that weaving between the forces from the cosmic, from the upper world with the forces of the underworld, that cosmic joke that we are those vessels where these divinities have an experience. So it's a very, I'm gonna put my glasses because it's been very, I've been in the computer quite a bit today and my eyes get a bit funny. So I'm going to be having my glasses today. So thank you, thank you. Before we start, does anyone would like to share anything? Are we ready to start? Yeah, everybody is feeling in that highest space to receive the information of the cosmic forces. All right, well, let's get started. And today I decided to be indoors as again, it's been a lot of energies that brought chaos, and I decided to be kind of more sheltered. So we're gonna have the copal in the format of the incense. As we close our eyes and we inhale deeply, and exhale. Inhale and feel the rise of your chest. Feel the air coming all the way to your plexus. And exhale. And inhale again. Inhale. Exhale. Now, these 13 flows of the heavens are printed in our body, and they move through our joints. And that's why we have the 13 made joints. And it's there where the flow of energy could get stuck. And that could prevent these forces to flow freely. So I will invite you that you move your neck as you keep inhaling in and out deeply and slowly. Just to kind of shake any stagnation that happens through your day, to your weekend, move your shoulders backwards. And do big sound exhalations and forward. Ah, bend your elbows and at the same time your wrist. Mm. It's like you're moving, you're allowing those energies that get stuck somewhere. Move your hips. You can maybe move from one side to the other. And circulars, move your hips. All those 13 centers in your body that receive those energies, and it's easily that when the weaving of time within the ludic time of the divinities that play through us, thing can be stuck in our body. Let's move your knees, touch your knees, move your knees. We move one or the other one is just standing up. Move your ankles. Get all that energy to flow. Connect with that all. Connect when you inhale is that all, is that sacred force that feed and nourish your vessel. Ah. Ah. Mm. We ask permissions to all the forces that accompany us today, the forces of our ancestors, the forces of the custodians of the land that are holding us wherever we are, all those spirits, the ancestors of those lands. We ask the permission of the four Baka Ofs, the sacred pillars that sustain the earth and give a structure to our realm, to the seven sacred directions, to the Oxlahun Ticuh, which opens for us today the center of the mysteries of the 13 forces that guard the heart of the universe. So, the vessel of the heavens. So we can be open, so we enter that ludic divine time where the time of the daily time that we live stays away, and we enter to that time of mythology, that time that allowed us to connect with that subtle energy that is flowing in us, in and out, weaving within us, so we can be present and we can tune with that, those whispers, with that language, awaken our intuitive intelligence, allowing us to gain perspective, which is what Oxlahun Ticuh gave us, the 13 sacred forces, the 13 layers. The forces of the Bolon Ticuh, the depth of the earth, the 9 layers to the heart of the earth. The Kilich Yasche, the heart of the hearts. So we can all come in unity. So we can all hold this circle and allow these forces to enter to us, because they only present themselves when there is a weaving of hearts from different directions, and we all come from different directions, from different walks, from different races. And each one of us is representing a sacred force. Each one of us is representing a line of energy that holds the earth. And we are here in unity holding this circle, so these forces can present themselves. And we ask permission. Malokin ishpati pepem ash kanglonte. Kin tankech inkilich yum tilekuchila. Kin tankech yum yunavku yetelo ob inlak. Inyum, satu umpastali, uti altankech, umpel okotakaban. Kilich baka o yachipchak, kilich ka ak, sak shikcha kilich ha, bo shikcha kilich ki ik, kan shikchak kilich ik. Oxlahun Ticuh, bolon Ticuh, kilich yache. I present myself to you, dear family, dear friends, Pepe, as a guardian and part of this knowledge that has been passed through the wisdom of our ancestors, my teachers, my mentors, the land where I came and I entered from this realm, with the only intention that you can reconnect with your own roots, with your own ancestry line, with the codes that are within your body, with your vessel. I thank you, Sacred Lord, for this day. I thank you, Lord, for the sun, for all the directions. Oh Lord, my Lord, I give thanks for everything. May your words be with me in the path that I walk. May the flow of these forces can find the flow through my vessels so they can speak and move through me. And then they ripple in each one of you. Because what we are doing here together is to clean the vessel by leaving the logic, by leaving the matters of the human behind, because we are now opening to the world of the ludic time of the divinities, where they play through us, where they move through us, where they express through us, when they experience the real sensations through us. Oxlahun Ticuh, Osh Kamlunte. So we touch the seven sounds of the directions with the hoop, uk, the seven layers travel in a spiral. And when we elevate the prayer, that prayer goes 7 times all the way to the heart of the universe, to the heart of the Hunabku, Nayum Hunabku. Okay, just gonna share. The Mayans, as we know, what distinguished them from many civilizations is the deep and committed curiosity of how, what are we doing here? They always ask themselves. Bash Ek, who are we? Bash all Ek, where is the sacred force coming from? Where is this force that is making my vessel to move? They always questions where they come from. They always questions what were they here for? Oh, sorry. I don't know how to do this. Okay. So they always understood that our vessels, our bodies are vessels for the divinities to come and have a good time in the realm of sensations. And they understood that movement is what brings evolution. In the Mayan cosmic vision, there is no such a thing as eternity, as we have believed in some of our Western indoctrinations that we have had. Because the moment that something becomes eternal, there is no expansion. So our bodies are here in a realm of time, and time is the monster that everything eats. And maybe we will think we'll look for the eternal life, but what is the point for a divinity to create a vessel that is going to be its own prison, its own jail? when it's what it only is a vessel for they to enjoy and to feel the senses. So then they understand that spirituality doesn't exist if we don't have the feet very well grounded on the earth. If we don't dance with that frequency of the universe, all those dualities and polarities that move within our body and bring us balance, we are here to find balance. We are not here to find eternity. We are here to dance into this, always embracing the power of choice. Always remembering that there is a dance and a battle between the winds, the flows that come from the underworld that make us feel those shadow parts of ourselves, but also those 13 layers, those 13 forces from the heavens that allow us to feel inspired and open so that divinity speaks to us. So when we are sharing something, when we are doing what we love to do, when we are creating and something amazing is expressed to us, we always needs to give the credit to these divinities. And this is the difference from the traditions, from the Western cultures, and for this new modern spirituality called New Age. That is only about me. It's a homocentrism. It just cultivates that individualism. How do we preserve a drop of water so it doesn't evaporate? The only way to preserve the drop of water is when it goes back to a higher body, to a higher consciousness. And that's what we are here for, to remember that we are a drop of waters going back to that highest consciousness, to those forces that accompany us and express to us. So when inspiration happens and something beautiful is created through our hands, expressed through our words, through our movement, we always have to give the credit to those forces that move through us. Because what we did is that we moved the ego for them to express and to have the humbleness that we are part of a highest consciousness. And here, there is no point to being in this realm if we wouldn't know that. Because then our point of finding balance would be completely no point. So here we are, this is the remembrance, remembering that we are these drops finding that river, that ocean, so we don't evaporate into our own individualism and egocentrism. Have all that humbleness. Suhuimak. Suhuimak. Suhui is the crown. Suhui is the heart of the universe when it enters our body. And the Mayans always try to find Mak is the hidden mysteries. It's that echo that is within us. So they always try to weave those hidden mysteries with that divine highest consciousness. And always look for deeper understanding and always ask these questions. And every moment asking ourselves, who is moving through me? Bash ek. Where is the force that is moving through me coming from? Bash all ek. All is that sacred force. Bash all ek. So every time, every moment, if we feel triggered, if we feel frustrated, or if we feel so inspired and so elated, when we wake up, the first question, who is moving through me? Who is in my vessel? And what is my place in the cosmos? What am I here? First, to respect the order of the cosmos. Because as well in the Western, with this modern spirituality, it's about practicing and choosing modalities, but then on the day-to-day, on the daily life, instead of bringing order, we just create chaos in the cosmos by disturbing others' vessels, others' energy fields, the earth. So there is a say that is as well for the civilizations of the North Mexico and North America, for all my relationships, and this is something that it comes as well from those Mesoamerican ancient cultures, for all my relationships. What is your relationship with all the living beings on earth. There is the mineral kingdom, there is the animal kingdom, there is the plant kingdom, and humans, we are not, we don't belong to any kingdom because we are here to bring balance and respect the order of the cosmos. So the real spirituality is when we become that suhuimak, when we, every existence, every moment, we choose, we take responsibility of what we choose, always preserving the order of the cosmos. Because it's no point meditating in the morning and then going back and start spitting to the winds, wherever, and bringing entropy and chaos. So that's what the Mayas always understood. They understood what is my place in the cosmos. The human beings is to bring balance, to bring respect, and to give credit, to prevent, to prevent what is going to keep me open to receive those divine forces, to provide what is needed for me to remember and expand the spirit, to protect, to protect my field, to protect how I feed my vessels in all my senses, and to pay because we have a debt with the spiritual world. So we always have to pay. We always have to offer everywhere where we go, every land we visit, we give an offer and we pay. So for the Mayans in the spiritual realm, there was the woman has this battle into the spiritual world by being the bridge and the portal for these spirits to incarnate here. So the moment we incarnate, we have a death because something was stolen from the spiritual world. And there is always the spirit of the death in us, because that frequency of death is always waiting to take us back where we belong. So for the Mayans, there is not a beginning of end, it is a cycle. And this is the cycle that's going to allow us to bring that order, that balance. Knowing that each breath is getting us closer and closer to that final breath when we go back fully to that ocean. The Mayans have so much curiosity that they observe the cosmos. And they understood that is within those 13 layers, that cosmos, that is what it shapes the matter. That subtle energy is what brings us. If you lay down under a tree and you open your eyes, you might going to see leaves and the branches. But if you kind of defocus your eyes, you will see the spaces between the branches, and then you're going to start seeing the energy field of the tree. It's the subtle that is creates the matter. So that discipline and that knowing for them is always was to cultivate that intuitive intelligence that allowed them to see and understand that really subtle language. But we won't understand that if we have so much noise and we are thinking, because we are in the ego so much, in the individualism, in this self-centerism, thinking that, oh, what I did, what I have, or I have this download. Is not one person. We're just being vessels. And we want to have that humble heart in order to be able to receive that very subtle energy and those whispers that are going to allow us to connect. So in the ludic time of the divinities is the other time, which is a time that is out of the perception that we have in this realm, which is before the times, before the sons. And it was the divine in transcendence when the divinities were having fun, when in the dark was in the chaos. Light is what brings order. And the dark is when they play, is when it was dark. It was a ludic time. Then start a mystical journey until gives way to the death of the divinities, when it started transformation, the divine transcendence. And this transformation and death brings resurrection. And then it was the birth of the fifth son, is when the divinities went all the way to the underworld to rescue the bones in order to create the humans that we are today. And that was the beginning of time. And this is the time of the humans. And for us, for the divinities, we are just the cosmic joke. We are just the playground where they come and experience the senses. Divinities, entities, and for us, allowed us to experience that dualities within us. So in the time of the Western, everything is linear time. Everything is it's hard to understand that everything is cyclic. Because even when we think about expansion and evolution and spirituality, we're looking for a higher, we're looking for a level. While in the Mesoamerican Mayan is circular time, we remember the future when we predict the past. So we want to bring those seeds of knowledge from my ancestors, and I will understand that past because I know that that's going to be my future. So this is the whole legacy from the Mayans for all the cultures and civilizations, that each human remember where you come from. Remember that those mysteries that are hidden within your bones, within your waters, within your essence. It's beautiful to identify with other civilizations. But today, in this matter, the subtle energies that give birth and form to your material form, to the material body, is that wisdom from the land where you were born, from the ancestors that you came from. So if you're trying to adopt different cultures that are not aligned with your body, then the subtle energy that is leading your body, you are not making a connection. There is no congruence there. And then you are blocking a subtle language, a whisper that is what moves your body. So it's super important that we understand this, because then we're going to be able to generate a strong vessel that is completely supported by all the forces that accompany you, that are backing you. And it's good to identify with other cultures, but first you want to recognize the subtle energy that makes your physical body. So they understood that. And they always understood that everything is three, which is a second number that we're going to explore in a later time in these codes. But everything is composed by three hearts. So the heart of the universe, the heart of that is in our crown, which is the Suhuimak, the heart of the earth, which is in our heart, the heart of the underworld, which in our body starts from the plexus down. So when a baby is is being birthed, is being born from the mother's cervical canal, and the head is the first thing that it comes out. That soft spot, the crown, is what receives the light of the sun. And that's when the heart of the first heart, which is the heart of the universe, the heart of the crown, is activated. And then is when that baby, when it's fully out and takes its first breath, is that cosmic wind that enters that vessel because it's ready. And that is the ik. It's those two birds, the duality of the earth, the winds of the cosmic, the vertical wind and the horizontal wind, that is what is around us. So then activates the heart of the heart. And then is when the body, when they cut the umbilical cord, then is when that heart of the body, heart of the underworld, start being activated on the body, on the baby. But as long as the baby keeps breastfeeding, it keeps being fed by that spiritual realm. When the baby start eating solids is when the earth start taking care. So what in the tradition we do? We pay offerings and paying our space to the earth. So we offer. That's what we used to do. And I'm so happy that it's coming back, that because in the Western world, this at some point, this was forgotten from all the cultures. So they understand that we are a cosmic axis where these flows of energy goes up and down, down and up. And they understood that our job, our discipline, our impeccability is to keep that vessel completely unobstructed so these winds can flow. So the underworld, the big serpent that is in our intestines, all those stagnant energies that can connect us. And we feel our underworld when we feel upset, when we feel overwhelmed, but we always inhale and we can experience that feeling, but always understanding that there is a wind from that underworld that is entering me and is awakening some part of me, which I don't want to talk much about the underworld because that's our next call, the Oxlahun Ticuh, but I want to concentrate on the high. But this is how those winds come. So we are a cosmic axis that basically is like a beautiful model, human model of how they see the whole cosmos, because the celestial vault, which is that beautiful blue shape, is the celestial vessel. The flat part, that is the earth vessel. And the ball games, well, maybe you guys wouldn't recognize that is the ball game, but right on the bottom, you see the two Mayans, and it's like a football field because that was a very sacred game that the Mayans trying to recreate the myth of the underworld. They have for days the games of the balls. That is the underworld, and you see in the center is that pyramid. That pyramid is the cosmic axis where all these energies flow. So if we are the cosmic axis where the energies flow, unifying this, so then what does it leave us to understand those pyramids means that were built in very unique points? They are representations. They are cosmic axis, but they are representations that we are living pyramids. And we unify these forces in our body. So Oxlahun Ticuh is the sacred 13, is the 13 divinities in the heavens that guard the heart of the universe. These forces is what nurture the spirit. When we are being birthed from our mother canal and the mollera, we call it in Espanol, the crown is the first thing that it comes, and then the inhale, and then the umbilical cord. And that's being fed by the spirits of the 13. The 13 is the beautiful sacred movement. So it's the mountain that sustains us. It's the house of the subtle energy that gives form to matter. And this is why it's so important that we start resolutions with our own ancestors, with our own forebears, direct and ancient, because that's the subtle energy that fed us when we came. When you were born, it would be beautiful if you guys want to put in the chat where is the place in the planet where you were born. Where you were born, that Mother Earth, that part of the mother, that culture, that traditional food is what it nourished your vessels when you enter. Is what it embraced you. That's the mother, and that's what it gives shape to your form today. So how can we reject or not recognize that subtle energy that is so printed in our physical body? So the Oxlahun Ticuh is the 13 highest levels of consciousness. So, and is represented in our body the 13 joints, the 13 caves and obliquities or cavities within our body, the 13 full moons. 13 by 20 is 260, which is the number of the corn. For Mayans, the corn was the benefactor divinity. Each corner of the planet have the benefactor divinity, which is the divinity that nurtured the body. Babies, after being breastfed, after they finished that stage, they were fed corn. Maybe in Asia was rice. I think that was wheat in Europe. So those are the benefactor divinities. So for the Mayans, which was corn, 260 is that number of that corn. And also Venus. Venus is basically represents 260 days is the start of the morning, 260 is the start of the night, and 50 days is behind the sun. So 13, they understand right away that 13 is a really crucial number, and they align it with the cosmos, and they understand that's the sacred number for the highest consciousness. And they then observe one of the most wisest totem animals, which was the turtle. And you can see in a turtle, and you can see in that black shape, the turtle has 13 patterns. So 13 was printed. So they ask questions to the universe. They ask questions, and the universe expressed the answers through the divinity of the earth, through the animals, through the movements, to the cycles, to the alignments with the celestial movements, how impact the earth, the land, the agriculture. So they were observing, they were in silence, and they were observing, and they start understanding and listening that those whispers of that subtle energy. So where are the 13 caves? The 13 caves, basically the physical world is designed to distract us. They understood that. But that's the game that we are here for. our senses distract us. We are in a discipline and then having a beautiful light diet, and then we have the smells of this something that is kind of maybe going to test our will, right? Or we listen something that maybe affects us and brings imbalance, or listen such a beautiful symphony that brings us. So we are in a space of sensations that are here to disguise us for the spirit, for that subtle energy, because that's the balance that we're finding. We want to find that subtleness and that whispers, those whispers and that language, that intuitive intelligence within the body. So our caves, our cavities, well, the crown, which is the obliquities, when we are born, this is a very soft spot. The two eyes, the nostrils, the ears, the mouth, the armpits, because they maybe are not cavities, but are obliquities that expel smell, the navel, our sexual organ, and the rectum. So we have 13 cavities. So how do you nourish those cavities? What type of, this is when we prevent, provide, and we protect. If we are going to be in a place where the noise is very chaotic, am I nourishing my vessel properly? If I'm going to be eating food that is so processed that is going to not nourish my vessel, because if we want to nourish our body with the energy of the heavens, then it's the leaves that are on the trees that they have the energy of the sun. If we want to nourish our bodies with the energy of the earth, it's everything that is on the earth. And if we want to nourish our bodies with the underworld, maybe are those tuberculosis roots plants. So everything brings energy. What smells am I putting? What am I sharing? What am I seeing? So it's for us, our responsibility to prevent, to provide, and to protect the vessel with what is needed for us to understand those principles and then to pay. So the 13 joints, so there is a flow of pure energy that flows and it will be stagnant in the joints. So if we don't have the discipline to move our joints every day, we are not cleaning the vessel, and then these forces cannot flow freely. So if we observe La Ceiba, which is the beautiful ancient tree, La Ceiba, as it starts growing, the branches are moving from one side to the other. So that's how they saw, they just reflect that the ceiba our body is a representation of a massive ceiba. So when we move our joints, we change the flow, we change the wind. So if you feel frustrated, if you are being attacked by a wind of the underwater, it's making you overwhelmed, angry, depressed, move your joints and change the flow and change the wind that is on the mind. So Oxlahun Ticuh, let's talk a little bit about the astronomy of the stars. So they start observing the skies, they start observing the heavens, and they realize that everything in the sky fights the sun. The sun rotates left, the stars rotate right. So then they start observing the Venus, that is such an amazing divinity or frequency that guide the Mayan cosmic vision. So when the Venus was the start of the day, for them was a time of preparation for good harvest, for good crops, for creating. When Venus was 50 days behind the sun, that was not a good omen, because the Venus was preparing, getting ready to overcome the sun, to attack the sun. And then Venus becomes the start of the night. So it's how they start seeing the mythology and recreating and understanding these cycles, how celestial movements are affecting and influencing the waters within us, the waters in our environment. And they start really understanding that flow. And they start really understanding that, predicting and when is the good time for a good, in their case, for good harvest and good creation. So they saw the 13 not as 13 numbers, they saw the 13 as divinities, 13 divinities. So when the sun rises all the way in one day until the suns go down, there is not the same frequency. So when the sun rises, it's cold and it's warm. when the sun goes down is hot, and when the sun is about to go fully, sorry, when the sun is like on the south point, is really hot. It's hot, and when the sun is about to go down, is the hottest point. So then they start observing, and they realize that the sun is not a divinity, but a vessel where different divinities enter and settle according to the flow of time. So you could start observing yourselves. How do you feel when the sunrise? How do you feel at 12? So there are four very important times for us to nurture our connections with the divine, for the with the subtle energies, which is at sunrise, at sunset, basically when the night and the day merge, and midday and midnight. So those are the times to really nurture that connections with that discipline, with those whispers, to nurture the intuitive intelligence. So for them, it's how it was. It's what represents this flow of this 13, um, doing the same activity, even if it's a discipline that you do to nurture your spirit. You will receive different informations at sunrise than at sunset, at midday than at midnight. It will be different. So it's important to observe when are those winds, when do I feel more vulnerable, or when do I feel more open to receive um, those messages from that spirit world. So that will allow us to understand from where we draw the strengths. So where do I feel? Where do I feel that those thoughts, those logical thoughts, are eating me and are bringing me those emotions that take me to an open, vulnerable vessels where these winds from the underworld enter and makes me feel no the best. So our task as humans, according to the Mayan cosmovision, is to really always to become that cosmic axis, like that sacred saber, to really be open and clear for these divinities to flow, to understand that the illusion of time is an illusion, because time eats everything. We are going to, every breath, every time, every second, we are closer to our final breath in this vessel. So time eats. So time is a trap. So when we say I'm running against time, or I want to gain time, those are illusions that we are making. When there is an eternal well, not eternal, but there is this present, which is immediately is already past, but also is this present that when we inhale and we are in that moment is where we can receive those subtle whispers. So now let's go into the Oxlahun Ticuh, which is the second ones of 13. The 13 totemic animals, which we are gonna dive deeper in this when we see the module of the totem animals. But basically, the beauty is that they start relating the constellations with the animals, and these are the forces that guard the heart of the universe, and these are the forces that come into our vessels according to different times on the day and different times in the year. So always for them, they observe for them that always start with Sapkan, which is the rattlesnake, the tail that is aligned with the Pleiades. So that for them was the first constellation, the first sacred force, which is when May, when the sun is the zenith time, the zenith point, when the sun aligns with the Pleiades. Right when the sun is aligned with the earth and the Pleiades is when is that constellation that is the first force. This is gonna bring for them transformation and rebirth. So then it comes the second constellation, which is the Itzantum, which is the rabbit. And is again, well, there is two lessons that we're gonna see, which is the astronomy, and we're gonna go deep into more about the Pleiades in the star systems, and another one which would be the energy of the animals, which is there are a few more that are not part of the constellations, that are part of the Mayan cosmic visions that we're gonna go into it. So the rabbit, spiritual connections, protection, and cosmic cycles. So for them is when they were starting to understand and be more attuned. They were preparing, they were planning, they were preventing, they were purveying according to these energies. Then it comes the Ak, which is the turtle. which is the wisdom, which is the stability, which is time to create. And then follows by the Sots, which is the bad, the Lord of the night, the pure transformation, the spiritual guidance, these mysteries. So that's the time, which at the moment we're in Mac, in the month of the Hab, which is the 365 days calendar. We're in Mac, which is really an energy that is very similar with the Sots, which is the hidden mysteries. Is to allow to unravel what is within us and give us the opportunity to integrate. Sinan, which is the Scorpio, which for them is a whole life, death, transformation, and protection. Is a surrender to completely let go what no longer aligns for us. So it's an opportunity to be able, like in the divinities time. Remember, the divinities have to go to that process of transformation of death in order to resurrect, in order to give birth to what we are. So if the divinities show us that cycles, who are we not to fight that normal cycle of evolution? And then it comes Ke, the deer, which is life, spirituality. So death and transformation is going to give birth to a spirituality, fertility, harmony, and balance, which is what we are doing here. And then comes the owl, the Soch, which is um, to be able to see. And we start tuning with the subtle energies. We start tuning and being what with the mystical forces. We are open. So this is again another beautiful cycle of movement of the soul and through the expansion and evolution journey that we are in this realm. And then Istanbul, which is the beautiful pheasant. I don't know why it's not the energy, but pheasant is rebirth. The pheasant is the freedom. The pheasant is the free spirit, is the harmonious to that wise spirit that dance with the light. And then gets back to sheep guy, which is the it's a fish it's not an alligator, it's a fish alligator that is only from Mexico. I'm not sure how in English it is, but it's like it's like that picture. That's what it is. Peje lagarto, like a fish alligator. Oh, that's another one that is, and this one is kind of this weight. This weight, this is like allow us to discern what is important, discern what is kind of here is when we embrace the protections of the vessels, when we learn the law of discernment. Where is what I want to be, who I want to be with, what is that energy and that environment that nurtures my vessel. And then comes the bats, which is the monkey, which is the playful, the joyful, but also is the completely full opening to the own introspection, the one that looks from within. And then comes the ich, which is the hawk, which is beauty, abundance, and spiritual transformation. And then comes Balaam. Balaam is the guardian of the sacred. That's what is Balaam, the guardian of the sacred, and is that divine connection with that spiritual power. Is what is gave us the ultimate transformation. So these beautiful totems that are reflected in the stars are giving us those reminders that is within us our choice to look after these beautiful vessels that we have to be able to receive those energies. And Peck or Ok is guidance, protection again, companionship, spiritual awareness, compassion to all, releasing the energy of judgment, pure compassion, because everybody is in their own journey. But compassion doesn't mean that I need to be myself a rock for another vessel to spit on. I can have that beautiful love. I love you, but your energy is kind of maybe not the most, but I hold space with love for you. But we is when we really look for that beautiful vessel that we have. And then we got go back the cycle again. We end with Sakam. And then when we just transit all these constellations, then we embrace the fuel, the ultimate spiritual connection, the protection, and the cosmic cycles, because we understand that everything is a cycle. And it's when the rattlesnake of Can in the Pleiades is in the 0 point, which is in this zenith here. So from where you draw your strengths, from where you think that it comes from, where those energies that were from the land where you were born, when your ancestors were watching the stars, what animals were the totems from the land where you were born. The animals are the only ones that can invoke the spirits with sounds. We don't have that capacity. And this is what the shamans learn to have, mimic the animals and these things to call and to invoke the spirits. But animals have it. So for us, the instrument, our fire instrument to connect is the prayer, is the singing prayer. And I love when when I heard that praying humans today, we don't know how to pray because we want to tell the divine what to do. We just don't let the divine do its job. We're just telling the divine one needs to be happen. So that's not the typical prayer that it is. The prayer is that one, that invocations, that key that connects us with that dialogue of the spiritual world, which is in surrender, out of the perspective of the vessel of the human, remembering that is the drop that is connected with the highest consciousness. So it's from that highest consciousness that the prayer comes and a pure invocation. Mm. And the Oxlahun Ticuh, the 13 layers, this is the power of the prayer. When we pray from that open heart with that devotional invocation, that prayer goes in spiral 13 times, 13 forces all the way to the center of the universe. And then is when the dialogue start happening because we have tapping into our own intuitive intelligence. So in Lak'ech, I really hope that this gives you some snippets of the beautiful journey that we have as vessels of the ludic time for the divinities to come and sense. That gave us the responsibility to be impeccable and disciplined and humble, to really embrace the power of choice by cleaning our vessel physically, subtly, what we eat, what we see, what we hear, what we smell, how we move our body, how we connect with that dialogue. Because when we have a strong vessels, then the divinities realize, wow, that vessel is strong, and that is a commitment there. Then I can flow there, and then the divinities keep flowing and flowing, and this just express beauty. And then things being we become magnets of beautiful and kindness and magical and synchronicities because the divinities are playing, are working, and are expressing through us. But if we are not conscious and we just keep obstructing and we keep stagnations, then the divinities, this does not a strong vessel. So my question to you is your vessel a good vessels for the divinity to inhibit? Is it a good vessel? Because if we see a vessel of water, a cup of water or a bottle of water is only useful when it's empty. But if a bottle is full, then it's not useful. So if your vessel is not empty and is not open for the divines to flow in it, what is in it? What is in there? And if what is in there is not bringing you a beautiful life of synchronicities, of expansion, inspiration, but then discipline, impeccability to train yourself, to clean your vessels, spiritual hygiene, energetical hygiene, physical hygiene. So you can be that vessel, that empty vessel, so the divinities can fully flow through you. So in Lak'ech, Maltiosh, and here we finish. And I have a little 10 minutes guidance through the 20 um, to the 20 kings. But I would love to see whether you have questions. Thank you. Oh, Romania. Wow. 45 degrees latitude. It would be beautiful to find, guys, everyone, and the ones coming to Mexico. Definitely. That what were the totems, if you can find, if you were born in Romania, what were the totems that were, what are the animals from that traditional culture? That would be amazing if you guys can bring that knowledge, which, and for everybody as well. It's nice to know that, to start to tuning with those forces from the places where you are from. Where else? Only Florin is here. No one share what is they are. If anyone has a question, everybody's shy. What's going on? Southampton. Yay. It would be beautiful, guys. So, what is it thought? What are the animals of power from those areas where you were born? Lisboa, under the dog. And remember, guys, born in Cebu, Philippines. So, yes, it would be beautiful if you guys are in the WhatsApp. If not, join the WhatsApp. And it would be beautiful if you can share there your insights. And if you could share what is the animal power, if you can research that, that would be amazing from the area where you were born. For example, in Yucatan, where I was born, is the jaguar, the balam. Um, is one of them, the pheasant, um, and the rattlesnake. But you can do one only. It doesn't need to be. There are many, but the jaguar is pretty much the one. Canberra, Australia. So that would be very special that you guys can find because wherever you were born, that's the mother, the earth that received you. The 20 kings, you remember I was telling you every day the frequency of the day, and now I'm telling you every 4 days. So we're gonna do a little breathing exercise to tune into that journey. So the 20 is the journey, are the forces of every day that that the stars are bringing us. The 13 is the cycles of the soul to go back to the oneness. Auckland, New Zealand. Animal is hawk. Oh, beautiful bag. I love hawk. Such a beautiful animal. If you please can share in WhatsApp, because that would be beautiful when I will put that list down. So when we do the totem animals, that would be amazing if some of the animals are there. And if not, to research what animals are weaving, what weaving territories. This is the whole journey of this beautiful Mayan journey that I'm saying twice journey. This work that we're doing in Mexico is to weave territories by winds, by waters, but as well for those ones that are not going to be able to be physically there, it's a whole weaving. That's what we are doing. So that would be amazing if everybody can share that, please. Yes. What is the question, Beck? You want to take off your microphone or you want to write it?
Yeah, yeah, it's easier. I was thinking about what you were saying, and I was thinking about how I use Palo Santo and sage at home. And obviously, apart from the fire and the burning, they have a very strong aroma. And I was thinking about what you said, and I was like, okay, well, how does that play into that particular thing when I'm using those things to clear entities or energy that is stuck or stagnant? However, the thing itself is an entity.
Yeah, well, definitely there is inorganic entities, which when we do the underworld, this Oxlahun Ticuh, we're gonna be more into those energies, but there are inorganic energies, definitely. Palo Santo and sage are one of the big herbs that help us to clean those. I mean, there is other ones that are amazing. Rosemary is one of them. It's always important to know where it comes from because the problem is when it comes from a place that is not been harvested ethically and is that particularly Palo Santo, sage, rosemary, or copal is not being in order with the cosmos, then we're bringing that energy. So everything that we
Mm.
use in our for our rituals, that is an animal part, like for example the conch shell, the any animal part, any plant, we want to make sure that it comes from an ethical source and not from a disorder in the flow of the cosmos. So if that those two that you have brings you that you are feeling familiar with that, that's good. Nothing wrong with that.
And if I don't know the source, like if I put like so I purchased these two things from my yoga studio, and I can only but hope that they are from a good place. But let's say I don't know, they don't know. Can I not just clear that as well? Just kind of with a prayer, like clear any kind
Yeah,
of
you can
karmic
always
oversoul or
pray.
something.
Yeah, it's always important to pray and ask permission and remembering when you're cleaning, it's not you who is cleaning. You're
Yeah,
just the
yeah,
vessel, that
yeah,
energy. You're invoking that energy to help you to clean it, and just please, I just offer you that. And
yeah,
maybe if you don't know, you can do an offering of the earth to kind
yeah.
of create a payment for that potentially karmic imbalance. If that you don't know what it is and it comes from an unethically source, do your pray and do an offering for the earth.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome, Becky. Okay, Wolf. Beautiful. Okay, guys. Well, let's do this. And I will invite you if you can have a nice, comfortable position. Um, and start inhaling and connecting with the rhythm of your breath, with this consciousness that in your body is all that information with as you when you inhale, maybe just what part of your joints feels a little bit more heavy or rigid? Your neck, your maybe your elbows, maybe your knees. Where is that? What part of your body needs attention? What part of your body has a blockage that is not allowing those divine forces to flow in you? And close your eyes and gently soften your eyelids. Maybe you can even touch your eyelids very, very softly. Relax your neck, all your articulations, and give yourself permissions to enter the vibration and the frequency that connects you with that beautiful land that embraces you when you enter this realm. Maybe you don't know yet much about it, but if you close your eyes and you bring into your imaginations a place where makes you feel so embraced by the mother, by those forces that rule that part of the mother where you enter this realm. Keep bringing your awareness also to the space between your eyes, creating with each inhalation more space as just until you are relaxing more and more all your facial muscles. As you slowly enter that space, inhaling deeply through your nose, feel the aroma of that space, and exhale slowly through your mouth. Inhale deeply through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Now, inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Slowly and deeply. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Inhale through your mouth and feel the temperature of the air, the wind that enters you. And exhale through your nose. And again, inhale through your mouth Hold. Exhale to your nose. And as you keep inhaling and exhaling slowly at your own rhythm, you start feeling that you fully enter in that space. Maybe it's a mountain, maybe it's a forest, maybe it's close to the ocean, to a river, the desert. Where is that space? That space where you enter the realm. How would that space be hundreds of years ago? Feel that space around you, the aromas, the colors, the textures, the flavors, and allow this space to feel all your senses. As you are held by this mountain beneath you, this subtle energy that feeds your body. You can feel the winds and the currents guiding you to move along this sacred wheel of time. And from this space, you notice how your subtle energy holds your hand, the hand of that vessel, inviting you to the walk, to the path of transcendence, starting from the first day image, the beginning of your spiritual journey, traveling along the wheel of the 20 kings, each one representing a step in your journey through the material world as your spirit evolves. Each day, you receive a different force to discover within your being, tuning with the great creative energy that gives life to all things moving through all of existence. And you relax, and as you will transverse these 20 energies, your spirit already knows, because what you are doing is remembering the future, because you are experimenting each one and again, but with a new level of consciousness, until you complete the necessary learnings for your own transcendence. The sacred Mayan calendar has 20 energies that guide you to take the lessons that you need to receive. Relax and let the breath guide you to the place your spirit needs to reach with each force. And you began your journey in this plane of consciousness with image. The energy of creations, both feminine and masculine, embodying the material world as part of this earth. You are the creation itself. When you were born, you took your first breath, and the sun activated your first heartbeat, touching the top of your head as you enter this world. Then, as you left the womb of your mother, you receive the breath of life, ik, from the heavens, connecting you with the great source through your expressions. You manifested the great creation, and you grew and developed material learnings through Akbal. And by the age of 52, you put all your wisdom into service, leaving a legacy on this earth. And you discover the magic of life. With Khan, you were filled with blessings, learning to receive the gift life had for you and plant them as new seeds into this world. And when Chichan arrive, invite you to look at your body, to care for all that has helped you to continue on this first stage of life. You took awareness of your journey and reorganize the material to heal. In this way, Chibi show you another part of the material world, offering you the chance to continue your path with a deeper understanding, surrendering until you transform all you had learned along the way. And when you reach Manik, you became free to let go and forgive, transiting towards the light your spirit needed. And Lamat await you, offering you its light to manifest abundance from exuberance and the understanding of the chosen path. Muluk gave you the opportunity to discover the 7 levels of your own transcendence, helping you to decide the next stage of your journey. With each step, Ok left an imprint, strengthening your legacy on this plane and guiding those who choose to follow your teachings. When you connected with your creativity, Chuen taught you the path of introspection, allowing you to express beyond words. And as you made decisions on the path ahead, your free will guided you consciously towards the sacred paths of your own evolution, knowing you were walking the right path. Then allow you to renew yourself, taking the lessons learned to continue the path of acceptance. Through the feminine energy of the earth, receiving renewal from Ish, you decide to take on a new earthly experience to complete your spiritual development. From this decision, men manifest with wisdom as a legacy for humanity, elevating your spiritual service to others, offering an example that transcends your own life and lights the way. Give remind you that your light allows you to release ancestral energy, learning from the errors of the past, and carving a new path for those who follow. Kavan, unify the energies of the earth and the cosmos within your inner nature, allowing coherence between body, mind, and spirit in harmony. Then your truth reverberate within as Etznav, help you to see the mirror of your own vision, balancing what you emit and what you receive. The energy from the heavens began to reach you, awakening the balance between doing, being, and thinking. As a result, the vibration of your being transformed everything around you. And then Kawa came to nourish you and raise your consciousness to a new level. The connection with Ahau awakened the full tuning with your spirit. And you became aware of the universal consciousness, allowing you to choose once again your path in a higher level of spiritual evolution. You understand now that your beautiful journey is circular, and it doesn't matter how many times, how many cycles of 13 you transit these 20 forces once and again, once and again. because each time you decide to choose from a highest level of consciousness, to polish that spirit so it can keep shining in that beautiful vessel until the time comes when the spirit needs to break free and go back to the sun, to the source, and the vessel goes back to the underworld, to the depths of the earth, as seeds that feed the soil, so new trees can be birthed again. And you are in peace because now you know that every decision in every second is a power of choice. And if there is a moment that you were not aware of your choice and you just react, and that brings you an stagnant blockage, opening the door to the entities of the underworld, you now can see them. You can inhale and you can remember that you then have the power of choice to come back to your center and to connect with the 13 forces of the heavens that brings you elation, inspiration, expansion. When you breathe in, when you look up, when you see the stars, when you see the Milky Way, when you see the sacred spirals, you then gain perspective and realize that your human journey is only a very tiny blink from the time of the divinities. And you just smile as you look up because you remember that you are a cosmic jog where the divinities come down and play. And you say, well, I have control and I'm going to be part of your jog because I have the power of choice. So feel your own peace and the peace of your heart unfolding and spreading this peace to all humanity. And you inhale deeply, slowly. And when you are ready, open your mouth and inhale through your mouth, allowing your own all to enter your body and ground in this beautiful vessel. Because now you know that you have the tools and the remembrance to keep this vessel clean. So whenever you're ready, open your eyes and come back to this conscious realm of sensations. How do you guys feel? You can
Tired.
tired. Okay. Are you guys ready to go to your mountain? Through the dreams, you go back to that space where everything is possible. Thank you, my lovely Erin. If you can share one or two words or more if you want of what you take from this call. Linda, is tired the only word?
Hey, Patty. How are you? That was awesome. That was really so interesting. And slowly, I think I'm sitting here in the dark. Starting to understand, a little bit more how the circular time works and because it is very different, right, to what we're used to. So thank you for continuing to, go over it and repeat it because that's really, really useful to help it drop in for me. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing, sister. Thank you. for receiving. Okay. Anyone else? Guys? Nikki?
Thanks, Patty. Yeah, it's been amazing. Sorry, my internet connection is unstable. Um, yeah, just amazing the learnings about Venus and how the Mayans look at Venus as the calendar based on of the calendar. And I just wanted to know how they would know that when they didn't have like you know, modern technology to um yeah, so that's amazing. Yeah. I
Well,
think they're probably out of this world, maybe the Mayans. So
but not
yeah.
only the mind, all those ancient civilizations understood as well how the body works, the immune system, the digestive system. They didn't have microscopes or ultrasounds or anything. They knew, they were attuned, they observed, they were silenced. They were connected to the higher consciousness. They were known as an individual drops. The problem is because we have lived for so long in this individualism that the drop of water that we represent is evaporating and we're forgetting everything. And we are relying everything in technology and all those things. But yeah, they were yeah, right, Maria. They were one of the biggest astronomers from all the civilizations. They were mathematicians, but they didn't use mathematicals for mathematical numbers for mathematical calculations. They just did it to understand the cosmos. So yeah,
Yeah, thank you. That was amazing. Yeah. Mhm.
thank you, my beautiful friend.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to share? Flory, how are you, my friend?
Thank you. Thank you for your love and grace. Very nice.
Thank you for being here. Is there anything that you take from this call?
Yeah, I think it's the heart. For me, it's the everything. It's one heart. Yeah.
In la quecha la quina.
Yeah.
Thank you, Flory. Nikki, Maria, Danny, grateful, relax. Yes, the recording will be there and you guys can watch it and you have that material there, Danny. And you guys that are coming to Mexico, it will be very, very more integrating experience because you will live this in the rituals and the whole experience. So don't worry to put the logic into it, just receive it because you will be able to make it more part of you when you experience it in Mexico. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Nikki. Beautiful, guys. Well, thank you so much for you. I think everybody shared, writing, or Becky. Yeah, you did, Becky, no? You did share as well. Becky, yeah. Um, well, thank you so much for your receiving. It means a lot. If there is no vessels to be open to receive this wisdom, then there is no point. There is not that it finished that legacy there. So thank you for your being so open to receive and have the time to be connected with me. So I really appreciate that because this circle, in order for, is not me talking, is just we all are creating this vortex and this is flowing. So thank you because obviously for a circle, in order for these forces to present themselves, it has to be a circle of open hearts, and each one of you is part of those pillars. It's like the backups, no, that hold the earth. We are the backups that are holding this space for these beautiful energies to manifest and can really bring what we all need to embrace. So I will close this, and I'm gonna touch this shell for 7 times with all my profound gratitude. First, for the forces that present themselves, for the forces of my ancestors that speak through me. Thank you for holding my hand, specifically in a day where it was very easy to be involved in the themes of the humans with chaotic human situations. So I am so grateful for those forces that hold my hand and hold me through this call. And I'm so grateful for the forces of each one of you for holding as well this space and holding me as well, so these forces could present, and for receiving, and for the forces that hold the land where we are, each one of us, because maybe they are not the lands where we were born, they are not the lands where our ancestors are from, but they are embracing us and are adopting us and are feeding us and are bringing us so much memory. So those lands are becoming as well part of us. Those lands, this land where we are, if it's not the one where we enter this realm, if it's not the one where our ancestors are from, this land is open her womb to embrace us and accept us as one of her own. So we want to say thank you to that mother, and the mother as one that holds us all in unity, and to the forces of the heavens and the creator and the source that nurtures this beautiful mother so we can keep living and remembering. And for the divinities of the cosmos, these forces that every day bring a snippet of knowledge, wisdom, so we can continue remembering. So we close the circles and close the four bakaos. Shak Chik Chak, Kan Shik Chak, Po Shik Chak, Sak Chik Chak, and the 13 layers of the heaven, Oxlahun Ticuh, the 9 layers of the earth, Polon Ticuh, and the beautiful center, Kilich Yache, Inkilich, Yum Yum. Thank you so much, guys. I close this. Before I close, just forgot to tell you that next Monday we're gonna do the Bolon Ticuh, but I have a good surprise on Friday, not this Friday, Friday 13. Beautiful grandmother Akbal is gonna give one of these subjects, which is the cosmic wisdom of the Mayan sweat lodge, which a good surprise is that we're gonna bring the Mayan traditional one when we come back from Mexico. So she's gonna connect. I asked her if she could give that one because I'm doing a whole mentorship with her, and I would love you all to meet her. Those ones who the ones coming with me in Mexico will be able to really get, because we're gonna do a lot of work with her. She has able to get for us amazingness, like to understand these concepts, like going to a new cenote that has been recently discovered. She even put us under the cars is going to a Mayan graveyard to understand with that all. So she's amazing. So she's gonna connect with us on the Friday. So next week we're gonna have two calls. The Monday at 7, the Volontiku, which is the 9 layers of the underworld. Friday we're having Grandmother Akbal, and then we're gonna have a week off because it's Christmas. So let's make the most. It's at 6 a.m. It will be super duper early because I know that many of you work. So hope everybody can be here to ask questions to Akbal. If you are not going to Mexico, don't worry. She will come, and very likely next year. So yes, fingers crossed that everything. So yes, you guys want to meet her. Well, I'm telling some of you have, but anyway, listen this beautiful wisdom from her. And yeah, and then we're gonna have a time off, and then we come back with the last four. So anyway, thank you so much. Have a beautiful night. Let's meet into the field of the realms, the spiritual realms and the mountains. And yes, thank you guys for receiving. Much love.